Thick smoke from that Midshipman Road blaze continues to blanket the surrounding communities, particularly during the early morning hours, creating a number of challenges to breathing and traversing the roadways.
Smoke would be sitting, especially during the overnight hours when the wind speeds has dropped significantly. We're hopeful that with the oncoming frontal boundary that is coming, that the winds are going to gradually pick up and blow some of the smoke out of there and bring the persons in that area some relief. But as long as the winds are very light and we are under a very stable layer, it's going to sit in that area and cause some respiratory problems and actually some hazards for the roadways as well.
Senior Met Officer at the Bahamas Department of Meteorology, Trinard Tynes, expects that frontal boundary by tonight or Friday, but is also expecting smoke to impact mariners on the canal. Of particular importance for motorists maneuvering the streets, Tynes urges they take extra caution behind the wheel.
You should reduce your speed to near 50 to 10 miles an hour, or even if you could go slower, just until you get your hazards on, you turn your brakes on, and then when you know, especially if you come into corners that have that T-junction, you start laying on your horn so you could allow the other person to be aware that someone's coming.
He says when dust particles are in the air, particularly in the morning, sound carries differently.
Once you have dust particles or anything like that, you have a different sound. The sound is more muffled, so it's not as clear. So if somebody who's coming out onto Midshipman or onto East Sunrise and they hear the engine, sometimes they'll be like, okay, that car is closer when it's not, or you can't judge well. And then somebody come out, if you're doing a very high rate of speed, that's an accident, you could cause somebody a life, and then that's another issue again.
As Grand Bahama residents continue to maneuver brush fire season, on its end, Tynes says the Met Office is revamping the service to do more fire forecasting to assist fire services to maneuver better and respond faster when it comes to fires. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Meanwhile, leader of the opposition, the Honorable Michael Pintart, not easing up as he seeks answers from the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Munro, regarding the police housing policy and recent eviction notices dished out from the Commissioner of Police, Shanta Knowles. During this morning's House of Assembly proceedings, the opposition leader calls out the Minister of National Security to step in.
So, Madam Speaker, we know that officers have an obligation once that timeline has passed. Under both administrations, Madam Speaker, a number of persons have been permitted to exceed that particular time. So obviously that is a situation that ought to be fixed. The question, Madam Speaker, isn't whether or not we want rules, regulations to be obeyed. The question is, why is it that the member, who is absolutely brilliant from Freetown, does not lead the charge in making sure that we look out for the human resources that are on the front line defending the lives of Bahamians?
However, the National Security Minister maintains it is an independent matter for the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Meanwhile, Minister of State of Environment, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, reminding the opposition leader of a quote he gave in regards to overstepping any commissioner of police.
His fetching around to challenge an independent commissioner of police demonstrates that just as my predecessor was judicially condemned for not recognizing the independence of the police, he vows to do so. He does not respect the independence of the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Whether it's the National Security Minister, the State Minister for National Security, no minister shall or should be able to usurp the authority of the Commissioner of Police. Close quote. And a big picture, this is the words of the member for Marco City, Michael Pintard, and this is Monday, August 10th, 2015.
Switching gears now, the BAIC Arts Center will soon house a vibrant Junkanoo cultural hub, a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. The project, designed to showcase the island's heritage, will also feature 12 new vendor stalls, offering employment opportunities as Grand Bahama anticipates a surge in tourism by 2027.
This BAIC Art Center is being transformed into a vibrant Junkanoo museum. The project is a partnership between the Ministry for Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. Now, with the island expected to welcome some 6 million tourists by the end of 2027, officials say the site will be a key spot for immersing guests into our rich culture.
Of our Junkanoo costumes that usually go to waste after a celebration, they will be staged here, also giving tourists an opportunity to learn some of the music, Bahamian music, and Junkanoo beat will be celebrated here.
In addition to the museum, the project includes 12 newly constructed vendor stalls, providing Bahamians with valuable opportunities for gainful employment.
The stalls will include food and also native wares. Give these stalls out to Bahamians. They will include souvenirs. Also, native food will be sold there.
A delegation from both ministries, including the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, recently toured the site. While workers were still seen making the final touches, officials are confident that the project will be completed by the end of this year.
Well, it's moving slower than we anticipated, but within the next 2-3 months, we should be completed.
The Ministry for Grand Bahama is also involved in the revitalization of the downtown farmers market, which was recently repaired in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture. Officials stress that the work being done across the island is part of a broader effort to ensure Grand Bahama returns to its former glory. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
In news from the court, a 37-year-old man was charged on 3 counts, one being unlawful sexual intercourse with an 11-year-old female, the second aggravated assault and threats of death. It's alleged the accused had unlawful sexual intercourse with the minor on more than one occasion in January of last year. It's alleged that days after the accused threatened the young lady, he was not required to enter a plea. The matter will appear in the Supreme Court, and the matter was adjourned to June 2nd, 2025. Meanwhile, a woman 46 years of age was accused of failing to report abuse of a child and causing damage to obstruct justice. She pled not guilty to both charges. Bill was also referred to the Supreme Court and was adjourned to June 2nd, 2025. In other news, what is good news to the general public is causing a degree of uncertainty for a Bahamian poultry farmer. The issue at hand, the coming VAT reduction on certain items and how it may impact operations. Cleopatra Murphy has the story.
Abaco Big Bird Poultry Farm was decimated by Hurricane Dorian in 2019, and while the operation has been focused on reclaiming its share of the poultry market and upping its production, Operations Manager Lance Pinder says the pending decrease on VAT on prepared food on April 1st could impact those plans.
We got our flock back up to like 30% now of what it was before the storm. I was planning to expand it even more in the next 2 or 3 months, but I have some concerns regarding the 5% reduction with VAT on unprepared foods that might affect us. So I have to wait and see how that plays out right now before I can go forward with any further expansions.
This is after the farm increased its production to 20% by the end of last year with the introduction of a second hatchery. Pinder says he has been in dialogue with the Ministry of Finance about his concerns.
90% of what we sell, wines, avocados, chicken, is on the list. And, you know, I'm all in favor for the government reducing the cost of food for people. That's not our issue at all. But on the back end, we're going to be paying 10% on all our inputs. So me as a VAT registered farmer, I'll be collecting 5% on what I sell and 10% on what I buy.
Ultimately, the poultry farmer says it could negatively impact the farm's cash flow, where Abaco Big Bird is owed money each time it files for VAT, as opposed to the other way around. Just how much the VAT decrease will slow the company's expansion, he says, will be determined by how much it is impacted.
If I'm in a situation where every couple months the government knows where I'm paying out tens of thousands of dollars more to the government than what I'm collecting in as VAT, then that obviously puts me in a very not good situation for not necessarily we will make a profit, but you'll eat up your money that you would use to grow and expand.
Since the start of the year, Abaco Big Bird's products have been in AML stores, ACH Pritchard on New Providence, and other Abaco stores. He says there are plans to hopefully get the chicken in other stores throughout the country. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
And still to come.
Jack Hayward Senior High hosting an art gallery. That story, sports, and more when we return.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Celebration Key presents the Lifeguard Swim Test in Freeport. Join the action at the YMCA on March 27th at 9 a.m. Walk-in registrations are welcome. Scan the code to register today and take the first step toward becoming a lifeguard.
Fire Carrier International Deliverance Ministries present Unveiling the Masked Women's Conference. Join Pastor Betty Mader and dynamic speakers on March 21st at 7 p.m. and March 22nd at 10 a.m. at House of Grace All Nations located on Queens Highway.
It's time to enhance your wardrobe with fabulous footwear, handbags, and designer accessories. Visit Stepping Out, located top of the hill Mackey Street, Nassau. At Stepping Out, they ship throughout the Family Islands.
The Night Before, a gripping stage production by S.L. Shepard, live at the Regency Theater, March 27th to the 29th at 8 p.m. with a special matinee on March 30th at 5 p.m. Tickets are $30, available at Imagine Graphics, the 17th shop, and to Gregory's Fine Foods. Calling all local musicians. Celebration Key is holding auditions on March 27th. Showcase your talent and bring the rhythm of the Bahamas to the world. Register today and be part of the magic.
It's the second annual Turks and Caicos. Come go with me. Musical and Jazz Festival, June 5th through 9th. Book your airline tickets now with BritishAirways.com, BahamasAir.com, or InterCaribbean.com.
The She's Rocking It conference is happening March 23rd at 2:30 p.m. at Old Bahama Bay Resort and Yacht Harbor. Celebrate the journey of exceptional women with keynote speakers, inspiring testimonies, and more. Tickets are $65, lunch included. Get yours today.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. In commemoration of 30 years since its inception, Jack Hayward Senior High School is hosting an art gallery at the Rand Nature Center thanks to a generous anonymous donation. Head of the Arts Department of the school, Benjamin Ferguson Jr. says Galleria, which boasts artwork from 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, is always possible or is all possible thanks to the dedication of the students and the other arts teachers, Ms. Riss Robinson.
Working along with us has been a blessing, and we have seen so much growth and potential from the students that we have and had in the past. So you will see the works around here were great, strong grade 10 works, because they come with some talent, and all we do is harness that talent with skill and education. So their confidence have been increased through working with us. Their ability to problem solve is also being increased. And if you look around in the room, in some of the shots, you will see that there is an installation, an art installation, which is a different form of art that they can get into. We just broadening the scope of what art is.
Ferguson notes that the gallery will be open to the public until the 28th. However, he is humbly asking for community support to assist the young artists of tomorrow to further their prowess.
We are also raising funds to take our art department to Nassau on an art tour. We're going to take our kids to meet some of the some of the Bahamian artists and to see their practices and also to view different galleries because, you know, in Grand Bahama we don't have as much, but Nassau is vibrant and we wanted to give them that chance. We also wanted to connect with the UB, the art department there, the visual arts department, so we can have a nice seamless transition as they want to pursue their careers in art.
Well, the Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, made a donation of much-needed supplies to the pediatric ward of the Rand Memorial Hospital. Recently, Lewis says that he is no stranger to making donations to the local hospital. In fact, the group started in 2018 and donated during Hurricane Dorian. Additionally, he believes these items will benefit these young patients.
The need was there, and we decided to fulfill the need, and the program is going very well. We had international partners identified. However, the program was disrupted in 2019 during Hurricane Dorian. And since then, it's fallen by the wayside with respect to the hospital itself. We've been giving items to the community at large, individually, but we've decided now to come back to the hospital and provide supplies, much needed supplies. We made contact with the operators of the hospital to find what was the most urgent need at the time, particularly in the maternity section. We want to deal with the children this time, and we were provided with a list of urgent supplies or supplies that can help.
Accepting the donation on behalf of the hospital were Administrative Manager Adelicia Campbell and Nursing Officer Lynette Curtis.
And once again, we want to make an appeal to the public. Every day we have persons that come in and they are in need. Persons in the community are hurting, and anything that can be donated to assist us so we can assist persons of the community, we would appreciate those donations.
A lot of persons coming in who are financially in need, and so therefore these items, because Pampers are very costly, and so this will assist those who are in need. And so we are appreciative of Corporate Bahamas and Mr. Iram Lewis for thinking of us by, bringing this to us. And so we want to just say thank you to him and his team for such a beautiful donation.
And that's a look at stories making news. Stay tuned. Sports is up next, but first to check on the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Here at Island Bedding, we provide Bahamians a local option for factory direct quality sleep products. We have also expanded to include a range of furniture and home accessories. Check out our new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe. Located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinarian.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Celebration Key presents the Lifeguard Swim Test in Freeport. Join the action at the YMCA on March 27th at 9 a.m. Walk-in registrations are welcome. Scan the code to register today and take the first step toward becoming a lifeguard.
It's the second annual Turks and Caicos Come Go With Me Musical and Jazz Festival, June 5th through 9th. Book your hotel now at Ports of Call Resort, Turks and Caicos. Daily breakfast included. Short distance from the event. Email now. Reservations at portsofcallresort.com using discount code CONCERT15.
Do
want to find relief from common health concerns such as headaches, back pain, chronic inflammation, and more? How about improved sleep, boost energy, and improve overall well-being? Check out RA Balance Bahamas and get your body into balance with biomagnetic therapy. For all our social links, contacts, or to request an appointment, visit rabalancebahamas.com.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sport. It's going to be a busy weekend in sports for a number of athletes and coaches from the north. We have a whole lot of sports for you. Let's jump right in. The NCAA March Madness basketball tournament for men and women currently underway as the college basketball season is coming to an end. Bimmonite VJ Edgecombe and his Baylor Bears will see action on Friday in the first round at 9:15 a.m. where they will take on Mississippi State as the 9th seed. Also, Coach-elect Markfi McEwen and her Ole Miss Lady Rebels coming in as the 5th seed will take on Ball State on Friday as well in the first round of the women's tournament. That game is scheduled to tip off at 6 p.m. Next in sports, Alpha Aquatics Learn to Swim program has been growing over the past few months. It's a program catered to young swimmers across Grand Bahama.
For the Learn to Swim program, we're teaching our babies, I should say, how the basic skills, how to survive inside the water. So that's like if they fall inside the water, they'll be able to get out the pool by themselves. And having the competitive swimmers help them. The little ones are more excited, I feel like, because they're like, after practice, they're able to see them inside their area. I'm hoping that we do expand. We have our 3 programs that are open right now. So that's our Learn to Swim, our Stroke School, and also our competitive swimmers. I'm looking to actually start an adult swim program because I've had a lot of adults reach out to me and ask about starting that program because surprisingly, there's a lot of adults on the island that don't know how to swim.
From the pool to the volleyball court, the Grand Bahama Amateur Volleyball League is now focused on the upcoming nationals set for later on this summer.
We will have the nationals in August in New Providence, so hopefully we can work together and select the best team to represent the country.
And finally, in sports, high school track and field nationals happening in the nation's capital. Athletes, of course, from Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini will be in action over the next few days. Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Celebration Key presents the Lifeguard Swim Test in Freeport. Join the action at the YMCA on March 27th at 9 a.m. Walk-in registrations are welcome. Scan the code to register today and take the first step toward becoming a lifeguard.
Hi, welcome to Total Restoration Beauty Salon. We specialize in total restoration, such as alopecia. There's 5 different types of alopecia. We do oxygen therapy treatment, we do laser treatment, we do microneedling, and we do steam treatment. Also, we do teeth whitening, we do silk outs, we do fat dissolved injection, we do breast dissolved injection, we do butt lift, steam, foot detox. We carry top-of-the-line products. We try not to use products that are sold on the shelf. We carry silk out, we carry Influence, we carry Niobe, Reckons, we carry Mizani. Hours of operation is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Saturday. 375-7420, 352-2532.
Hey, I'm D'Amico Nesbitt and welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you a helpful tip to help you on your health and fitness journey. Today we're going to talk about the importance of drinking water. Your body is made about 60% of water, so it's very vital for your body to function effectively. I'm going to give you quickly 3 of the main benefits of drinking water. One benefit is that it helps to remove toxins and flush toxins out of the body and keep your body regular. That means you go to the bathroom on time. So sometimes you might get constipated, maybe because you're not drinking enough water to help flush those toxins out. And that can help prevent symptoms such as being irritable, having bad skin, and so on. A second benefit of drinking a lot of water, it helps to prevent pain, and that can be pain from things like kidney stones or everyday headaches. Sometimes when you're dehydrated, you get headaches. Of course, if you don't drink enough water, you can get kidney stones, which are very painful. The third benefit is that water can help aid with your weight loss goals. So, water, sometimes you can confuse hunger with thirst. So a good way to prevent that is to make sure that your water intake is high. And also, drinking water as opposed to drinking sugary drinks such as, juices and sodas and so on will help to keep your calorie intake down and help you along with your weight loss goals. We have these nifty water bottles here at the Fitness Connection that can help you stay on track with your water drinking for the day. So come over and check us out. And thank you for tuning in. See you next week.
Number 1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight coming your way next.
Mario.
Hey Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine one.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
It's time to grow your church. Time to extend your message to all the islands in the Bahamas, into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and to the world via the ZNS app and website. It's time to broadcast your church's services on ZNS TV. To help you with that, ZNS has some exciting new packages with very good prices. It's time to call 502-3813 for details.
In Harbour Island, North Eleuthera, I'm Charles Fisher. This is ZNS.
News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a long time coming. The government swaps out would-be solutions with a sealed deal for the country's first ever LNG terminal, a crucial step in its push towards energy reform. Also, youth leaders bring their unique perspectives, creativity, and vibrant energy to the fore in critical discussions on policy development. And a hefty cash and lots of money to show for it. Local fishermen tout a successful crawfish season and find out who and what's partly getting the credit. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. As tensions heighten between global superpowers, China and the United States, the Prime Minister is positioning trade diversification as a key safeguard for the Bahamas. And this on the heels of major grocers' stark warning that ongoing economic conflicts could very well push inflation rates as high as 20%. Devontae Hanna takes it from there.
Now, Makushla, with concerns raising over the potential fallout from a looming trade war, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis believes the Bahamas must broaden its trade partnerships to reduce reliance on any single economic powerhouse. He emphasizes that diversification will not only protect the nation from external shocks, but also strengthen economic resilience. The warning of a possible 25% inflation surge in the Nassau Guardian came from SuperValue founder Rupert Roberts. It all comes as global supply chains remain fragile. Food and essential goods are particularly at risk, with retailers seemingly already bracing for potential price hikes just due to the United States President Donald Trump's proposed port fees. Take a look at what the Prime Minister had to say.
Our response to that is to continue our efforts to continue to diversify the source from which we get our products, and hopefully they could come direct to the Bahamas as opposed to going where it'll cost us much more.
Tensions between the United States, Canada, China, and Mexico have been escalating, with nations imposing tariffs on each other's goods in a tit-for-tat economic standoff. It means what was once considered inexpensive goods can very well increase in price in the coming months. With a new national trade diversification program, the Davis administration hopes to jump ahead of the spike. CEO of CLX Logistics Bahamas, Kerry Howell, early this month explained how it would work.
With these direct trade routes, we now shorten the time, so from farm to table, and so we receive fresher goods in the Bahamas.
But as the eyes of the world fixate on President Trump's next move, economists say smaller countries like the Bahamas should brace for impact. And as Prime Minister Davis puts it, what happens externally can impact CARICOM nations internally.
And so we look at each policy of the United States, see how it impacts us, and make the adjustments as necessary to ensure that we're looking after our people.
Well, Prime Minister Davis says his administration is actively exploring new trade opportunities while enhancing local production to reduce dependency on imports. Now, economists warns that if the trade war escalates, Bahamian businesses and consumers should prepare for potential economic shifts. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Devontae. Now, meantime, come November 1st, the powering of electricity, as we know it, will change. Out with oil and diesel, and in with LNG. A cheaper, cleaner way of energy production that's expected to drive down electricity bills. Our Felicity Darville was at the office of the Prime Minister for the historic signing of two major agreements.
Liquefied natural gas releases 40% less carbon dioxide than coal and 30% less than oil, making it one of the world's cleanest fossil fuels. Liquefied natural gas, or LNG, releases 40% less carbon dioxide than coal and 30% less than oil, which makes it one of the world's cleanest fossil fuels. In a landmark event, the government of the Bahamas signed a terminal development and use agreement with New Providence Gas, a subsidiary of Focal Holdings, and an LNG supply agreement with Shell Global. It includes converting our turbine engines at Clifton Pier from oil to LNG.
When this administration first announced its plans to tackle energy reform head on, to some people, it may have sounded like we were aiming too high, dreaming too big, or maybe casting our vision too far. I don't blame them. You see, the cost of electricity had been so high for so long that many people accepted it as part of daily life in the Bahamas. Added to the high costs were the decades of constant failures of BPL's main generators, the inefficiency of the Wärtsilä engines, and other failed would-be solutions.
According to Minister JoBeth Colby Davis, this is the National Energy Reform Plan in action.
When it comes to energy, Bahamian households and businesses want two main things. One, to be confident that electricity, or as we say, power, will stay on. And two, affordable electricity bills. For the Davis administration, These needs are national aspirations that our country needs to grow and every Bahamian deserves.
By the time this agreement reaches Phase 4, Attorney General Ryan Pinder says we will have upwards of $180 million in annual savings.
Just imagine the economic opportunities of an extra $180 million a year in the economy of Nassau, being able to be reinvested, being able to create additional opportunities, small businesses being able to have extra disposable income to grow.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Well, hundreds of young voices from across the country coming together for a power discussion on the future of the Caribbean. In this report, our Devontae Hanna shares how the CARICOM One Youth, One Voice Conference providing a platform for some 400 students to dialogue on critical issues affecting the region.
From climate change to economic development, students from across the Bahamas engage in passionate discussions at the CARICOM One Youth, One Voice Conference.
It helps me to realize that I have a voice and I can use my voice.
That's the Government High School's 11th grader, Kenmaya Black, just one of 400 students grateful for the opportunity to learn from experts on key topics organized by Ambassador to CARICOM, Her Excellency Leslie Miller Bryce.
There are 3 topics that were covered today: the role of diplomacy, a youth-driven future. We also talked about climate change and sustainability, and now Ambassador Sebastian Bastian. He's on the stage talking about the future of entrepreneurship in the Caribbean.
At the conference center, officials wanted young people to realize that they have a voice not only here in the country, but across the region and around the world, like 8th grader Angel Paul.
All speakers that inspired me that the youth have a voice, that they could talk for themselves, and we could change the Bahamas and we could change the world.
I truly want to say thank you to the government of our country for ensuring that our youth voices are heard, for ensuring that we empower them, ensuring that we engage them.
CARICOM leaders have long emphasized the importance of youth participation in governance and policy making, and Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis today encouraging those to do the same.
The time for action is today. And you are the drivers of that action. You, the young minds in this room, are the catalysts for change. You are the disruptors, the innovators, and the visionaries who will not only inherit this planet, but fight fiercely to protect it.
The one-day conference leaving students with new perspectives, ideas, and a renewed commitment to shaping a brighter future.
I liked how they gave us ways as youth that we can combat these situations, or how we can input ourselves in these situations and be able to help the Bahamas.
And there you have it. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
And it's Angel Paul.
Well, thanks, Devontae. Coming up, all smiles as the crawfish season winds down. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Irresistible taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
One's independence is determined by our ability to earn a living, which is why unemployment can dampen one's morale.
The NIB Unemployment or UEB benefit allows for up to 13 weeks of income replacement, allowing some time for you to get back on your feet. Before applying for the UEB, you must have an employer's termination of service layoff certificate or Form B-80, which is completed by your employer, and the unemployment card or B-81 form given to you when you register with the Department of Labor. To claim UEB, one must complete the Form B-82 or Claim for Unemployment Benefit form. Fill in all sections of the form, providing personal details, information to determine your eligibility, recent employment history, banking details, providing your account number and not your debit card number. Sign the bottom of the form, declaring that the information given is true, and date the form. Before submitting documents, double-check that all fields are accurately completed. All forms must be submitted within 3 months from the date of unemployment. Incomplete forms, forms with incorrect information, or late forms may delay the processing of your benefit application or result in the forfeit of your benefit. For more information and to access all NIB forms, visit the NIB website at nib-bahamas.com.
Of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Tonight, you're looking at a drone shot over the Nassau cruise port headed back into the city of Nassau. Welcome back. In other news, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munroe, is defending the response to the recent SpaceX Starship rocket that exploded over the Bahamas nearly 2 weeks ago. This amid concerns from the opposition about the search and recovery process and the potential environmental impact, even as the SpaceX team has ended the search for debris and has left the country. The opposition even suggesting the government is being less than transparent, something Minister Munroe flat out rejected.
The opposition does what they do. They conflated two issues. So the issue of SpaceX debris that fell in this country has nothing to do with a booster landing here. That was a aircraft that didn't take off in the Bahamas, wasn't due to land in the Bahamas. You, in effect, have these incidents that happen. Indeed, off Scotland, you had the cargo ship that collided into the oil tanker, and there's a spill. Whenever you have things like that, there are international treaties and conventions that govern it. So the international treaty that governs the falling of space debris says that the person who owns it has the cost of cleaning it up.
The National Security Minister also firing his own attack at the opposition, whom he characterizes as not demonstrating confidence in the abilities of Bahamians. Referring specifically to Bahamian rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, who worked closely with the government and SpaceX on the recent booster landing exercise, Minister Munroe says her expertise and connection to the Bahamas leave little to question.
The booster landing, as was indicated, there was a study before it. There were the people there during it, and there's the study after it. And what is Bahamian people should be comforted by, these are all being done by Bahamians. And as I said in the House, I'm very impressed by Miss Bowe. She hails from Exuma. Her grandfather is from Exuma. Her line is from Exuma. Are we really thinking that she's going to endanger Exuma and not giving sensible advice?
Meantime, Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rihanna Neely, recently confirmed that some residents in the southern Bahamas have been contracted to be on the lookout for debris from the failed rocket. She notes that its engine will unlikely be retrieved since it is presumed to have fallen into deep waters. Well, lost lives, shuttered businesses, school closures, unemployment, bruised economies. The dismal picture of a world in crisis 5 years later, and the scars are still there. Our reflection of the COVID-19 pandemic takes us to our Vaughn Albury's exclusive interview with the former Minister of Education.
Former Minister of Education Jeff Lloyd says in March 2020, he was also the acting Minister of Health when health officials issued a dire warning to the Cabinet of the Bahamas concerning the spread of COVID-19.
They advised us that if the prescriptions, the mandates, and the directives that they were giving to the Cabinet of the Bahamas, the government of the Bahamas, were not followed, that the system, the medical system in this country, was likely to be collapsed.
After that, all movement was drastically limited. Congregating in groups was not allowed, impacting work, funerals, weddings. Staggered times to grocery shop, and all schools ordered closed. Thankfully, the pivot to implement virtual school nationally started September 1st, 2019 for students in the southern Bahamas. And now with COVID, that too was a challenge.
You already have about anywhere from 8 to 15% of your students who do not come to school for any number of reasons. And now, in addition to that, you have the issue of COVID, and you have the issue of internet capability.
There were many adjustments and changes, including mask, hand washing, and social distancing.
Because there was no map for us, there was no playbook, as it were, for us to go by. We had to, again, continue to be directed by the Ministry of Health and the health officials, and also in collaboration with our CARICOM family members.
Acknowledging that there was learning loss during COVID, Mr. Lloyd is, however, thankful that corporate Bahamas, teachers, and unions pitched in to allow students across the islands to learn virtually. For the Bahamas Tonight, I am Vaughn Albury.
In more upbeat news, the end nears for the crawfish season, but local fishermen have no regrets, not having pulled in thousands of pounds of crawfish and plenty of profit this year. In fact, National Fisheries Association President Keith Carroll pegs the outgoing season as the best one in years.
It was so good that some boats had to stop fishing for the lobsters to freeze up so they could fish the next day. And the reports a lot of small crawfish. That means the future is good. So the way things looking, the crawfish season is showing real good for the future.
Successful season aside, though, marine biologists contend that overfishing remains a concern. Regulations like the annual close season, restrictions on catching undersized crawfish, and bans on harvesting egg-bearing females are crucial to keeping the industry alive. Fisherman Paul Melis maintains that following regulations is the only way to protect future seasons.
I think the most important thing is for fishermen to uphold the law and respect the law. Like Mr. Carroll said, there's a lot of fishermen who don't abide by the law. When the grouper season closes, they fish through the closed season. When the lobster season's closed, they fish for lobster. They don't allow the breeding stocks to keep up with the heavy harvest all year. And like Mr. Carroll said, as long as we keep industrial poaching out of Bahamian waters in whatever form it's taking, that's going to do a lot of good in helping keeping our industry sustainable.
Now, according to the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Bahamas exports millions of dollars worth of crawfish annually, with the industry making up over 80% of the country's total fisheries revenue. Stay with us. There's more to come in the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Picture this. You're eating a tropical salad in the Bahamas, but conch isn't the main ingredient. Instead, coconut. And this wasn't even the most outlandish creation at the first Coconut 360 Festival today in Boston Square. Take a listen as our Daniel Dean explains.
We all know that coconuts can be eaten, courtesy of treats like coconut tart and even coconut shrimp. We know that it comes in oil and drink form. But did you know that coconuts can be worn or even used for gardening?
The coconut fiber is also used for planting as well, and also used as tea to help cleanse your liver and kidney.
Danielle McKenzie of Coco Splash, a one-stop shop all-natural coconut service company, was right in her element at the Ministry of Agriculture's Coconut 360 Festival launch, an initiative aimed at supporting Bahamian coconut vendors and their innovations using the versatile fruit.
And also the coconut peat. So you can use this one here as soil to mix in the soil to help your plants stay cool.
Courtesy of the Ministry of Agriculture, 4 coconut vendors have received boots like the one behind me.
It isn't just about the coconut product, it's about the people as well. We want to ensure that we develop the person in 360 degrees. So they've had health training, they've had hospitality training, and the list goes on and on. And so those keys are for them now to be empowered and opening their new Coconut 360 boots.
A quarter of the recipients, Brent Saunders.
When I started on Sanders Beach. And when the pandemic came along, they shut us all down, so I had to move on to my property on Fire Trail Road, and I've been operating there ever since.
So how was that for you?
Oh, it's going great. It's just developing and growing, and now with the government giving us these boots, I'll be able to open up a second location somewhere else.
Mr. Saunders of Bertha Boys Coconuts and the rest of the vendors look forward to a lucrative future in the coconut business. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle T.
Well, from the open seas to Bahama to the city center, a busy day for the Prime Minister, who also carved out a bit of time to present coconut vendors with keys to their huts, all while sampling some of what they had to offer.
I'm advised that the coconut industry is a billion-dollar industry, $2 billion industry, and it's time for us to take our part of that. And so this initiative is to ensure that we regulate the industry, bring the attention and the respect that it deserves, and to let the coconut vendors know that they are a part of this economy. To let them know that they are appreciated, and to let them know that we, this government in particular, is here to empower them to ensure that their living is worthwhile.
Well, it's now time to toss it over to LaDawn and Marlena for a sneak peek of what's coming up in Access Now.
Makushla, it seems your Valley boys are getting things together, but Malene, I want to ask you, are you ready to interview them later?
Oh, yeah. I mean, who is that? We want to hear straight from the source. We want all the details. I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready.
Oh, boy.
That's the way to do it, Marlena. That's the way to do it. Stay with us. The National Report is back after the break.
Diet-friendly special.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Do you ever just want more?
But wait, there's Marco's! Introducing the More Marco's menu, packed with your favorites starting at just $6. Like our warm, golden baked cheesy bread, crispy stuffed risotto. How about a hot, fresh, medium one-topping pizza, subs, calzones, pizza bowls, and more. Starting at just $6. Certain restrictions apply. More variety, more value, more Marco's. Order today at Marco's Pizza, Bahamas.
That's it for the national report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
For over half a century, we've been more than just an airline. We've been a bridge, connecting families, dreams, and memories across the islands and beyond. Behind every seat sold and every journey planned, there's a dedicated team committed to making air travel affordable and accessible to everyone. At Bahamas Air, we're not just building connections, we're building a safe and dependable airline where quality service is paramount and an excellent travel experience is our priority. Wherever you're going, we're here to take you there with care, with heart, and with the promise of unforgettable journeys. We are family, and just like family, we're committed to taking care of our own. Your Bahamas Air is our Bahamas Air, because here at Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. Got that sense good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources recently gave Exuma residents gifts that are set to boost food production: a new tractor, a marine patrol vessel, along with a number of agricultural products. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Jomo Campbell says officials were thrilled to present the donations.
Farming, it's not just a way of life. It is a vital part of our economy and food security. We recognize the challenges that our farmers face, from land preparation to improving crop yields. And so, this new tractor is a direct investment in your success. It will assist with land clearing, plowing, and overall maintenance, making your work more efficient and productive. Our goal is to ensure that agriculture remains a viable and profitable industry for the people of Exuma.
Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Exuma, Chester Cooper, says he was happy to see that children on the island are encouraged to become farmers.
Farming hasn't always been a desirable field to go in. Today, however, we've advanced, and we have advanced significantly. I applaud the Minister and his team for ensuring that we are infusing technology into the advancement of agriculture and making it more desirable for our young people.
During the trip to Exuma, ministry officials also donated agricultural supplies to Allen Coakley High School, along with 20 scholarships to the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith.
Known as a TikTok superstar, Elias Fritz is certainly making waves. Desmond Saunders tells us why.
And the country's director of education talks to us about bullying in our schools. Details straight ahead.
Plus, the Rotary Club of South Ocean is all about leadership in action. Stay close for that.
And coming up in sports, day one of the high school track and field nationals underway.
The Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Well, we have a winner, Marlena. Chantel Mackey has won the lucky ticket.
Ooh, and she has a free pass to the Bahamas Bridal Show this Sunday. So congratulations to her from the team here at Access Now.
So let's dive right into the news, shall we? Verbal, cyber, and/or sexual bullying continues to be a social issue among students in the public school system. It's unwanted aggressive behavior that Director of Education Dominique McCartney-Russell says her anti-bullying team at the ministry is committed to getting to the root cause of.
We receive that information that a child is being bullied. We do have consequences for bullies. For example, some schools will have the bully write an essay on the consequences of bullying and what you're doing to the child who's being bullied. That child may receive an in-school suspension where they perform community service. They may also be asked to serve an out-of-school suspension at one of our suspension centers. But we always include an education aspect to it, and so an essay, and we provide counseling as well.
Well, female tourists now flocking to the Bahamas to meet a young, dashing local bartender who has literally put the Bahamas on the map again. Our Desmond Saunders found the TikTok superstar and filed this story.
The content is just...
What's the rave about?
I mean, I think they say I'm handsome.
Young Elias Fritz still reveling over his meteoric fame. He's racked up millions of views on TikTok and Facebook from female tourists while working as a bartender at the Tiki Bikini Hut on West Bay Street.
Like, it started off at like one video right there, sitting at the same exact spot right there. I passed a drink right over here at the same exact spot right there.
So they work here.
Yeah, they just like to record me and they like to take pictures with me. They like to just they basically use me as like a a tourist attraction.
Yeah. Well, that one video of him at the popular tourist attraction posted by a female tourist has gone viral, making him an overnight internet sensation and a brand ambassador of sorts for the Bahamas.
My content, because the people come and record me. So the people that do come over here all the time, like every day on the flight or the cruise, I would say like one person out of like everybody in that video, or like one person like everybody in the day, one of those videos would go viral on the internet. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., by the time I go on my phone or go on TikTok and this and that, I see a video with 100,000 views saying this at the Tiki Bar and this and that. So
Elias' stardom has led to many lucrative opportunities near and far. Now, this juggernaut has no plans of relenting. He plans to continue making waves on social media and making his family and the Bahamas proud. Here at the Tiki Bikini Hut, Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Good story there, Desmond. Well, the Rotary Club of South Ocean took a bold step in fostering male leadership and empowerment with Leadership in Action, Cultivating Men of Impact. During the event, Rotarian Dava Bullard emphasized the need to invest in young men.
That something was needed for the young boys. You know, even what we're seeing now in our society, what's happening, there's no space for the young men to just express themselves, but also to hear from those who have gone before them. And so for us, we said, you know, there are individuals, like Minister says, and the panelists that we have today who can actually give back, let them know what they can do in their life to make their life better.
We have a leadership event where we have young men from ages 13 to 18. The room is about 100 and something young men, and they're all here to soak up, to impact, to get knowledge, to garner experience, to network, and see exactly what it is to become a real man in this nation. So the reality is our country is falling short of real men. So we came here today to show these young men that, hey, there's a different way of life that you could have, no matter where you come from.
The forum featured the Honorable Alfred Sears as a keynote speaker and focused on themes like building stronger futures. For many young men who attended, this event was more than just a discussion. It was a call to action, and as the conversation continues, the hope is what these young men will step up to become leaders of tomorrow.
Well, this is an opportunity for us to speak to young people and talk about leadership and how to become impactful leaders. That is talking about vision, beginning with a vision of how these young men wish to impact their families, their country, and the world.
Incorporate these events in schools, in different churches, different clubs. They could organize events such as this to impact and reach more teens such as myself.
Well, this is just the inaugural event. We're intending for this to be an annual event at the Rotary Club of South Ocean. Rotary Club South Ocean is just 4 years old, and so, you know, we're finding our footing, and we saw this opportunity, and honestly, we are going to continue this going forward in years to come.
In its quest to educate and protect the women of the Bahamas, the Progressive Liberal Party, Women's Branch, held a domestic violence seminar recently. Our Mauritian Burrows has the story.
Recent studies from the Inter-American Development Bank show that 1 in 4 Bahamian women have been a victim of at least one form of violence. It's a disturbing trend and a grave concern for domestic violence activists and advocates. Public Relations Coordinator of the PLP Women's Branch, Shakara Cargill, believes the seminar was necessary to shed light on this pressing matter.
Today we have organized a one-day event for domestic violence. It's called Unmasking Abuse, Combating Domestic Violence Together. I think domestic violence is a topic that's pretty taboo in our country and our society, and we just wanted to shed some light on it. So we've gathered a group of amazing women from the Zonta Club. We have representatives from the police force. We have a therapist coming in. We have 2 therapists actually. And so we just want to give women information or make it readily accessible to them in a safer environment where there's no judgment, and you could feel free to ask all of the questions that you may have.
The event attracted women from the Zonta Club of Nassau and the Royal Bahamas Police Force, who all explored the multiple challenges faced by women. President of FOAM and keynote speaker for the event, Candy Gibson, shared her personal experiences with attendees.
Trauma triggers. While it's good to go for counseling and it's good to have a prayer life, I want you to know that trauma triggers. Yes. We as females, we come out of abusive relationship. I myself was one. And before we get healing, we go on to the next partner. Yes. Not knowing that, guess what? We are still broken, we are still bitter, we are still hurting. We take our baggage, and that person coming to us too, they come with baggage. Then that's something called trauma bonding.
As Bahamian women have been a victim of at least one form of violence, advocates say that stronger legal resolution is imperative. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Mauritian Barrows.
Still to come, the Valley Boys are in the house with very good news. Stay close to find out all about it.
Minister Glenys Hannah Martin and other educational officials visited Spanish Wells recently to greet the students, teachers, and administrators of the Samuel Guy Pinder All-Age School. During the visit, education officials assisted in presenting several awards to students for their excellent academic performances during the last school term.
We're proud of this school because Samuel Guy Pinder is distinguishing itself every year in this nation. Something is happening here that's happening right. And I think the director hit the nail on the head for it. One is the huge parental engagement and support. I want to say thank you. Thank you to Ms. Roll. Thank you to our teachers. Thank you to the support staff, and certainly thank you, parents.
It is indeed the village that causes for our children to excel and to maximize their potential.
Wes Underwood, a student of Samuel Guy Pinder All-Age School and a top national achiever in the BJC examinations, was recognized by the school for receiving 10 A grades. Here is his advice to students who also wish to achieve high grades in the national examinations.
If you want to get these good examination results, you have to study and obviously put in the hours. So I was studying from about 3 right after I got out of school till about 7 or 8 on the weekdays, and then on Saturdays I was also doing some tutor.
Jonna Lee McIntosh for Ed Talk.
Supermarkets. Best value whole kernel corn, 15 ounces, 99 cents. Dispensing long like whole milk, 1 liter, 2 for $3. Helmets mayonnaise, 30 ounces, $6.69. Whole chicken wings, $1.79 per pound. Aged fruits, $54.99. Grand Cedar grapes, $2.99 per pound. Your favorites are special every day at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
You're looking at an aerial shot of Nassau Cruise Port. There's a breathtaking sunset there. Our Neville Smith is the drone pilot of the night. Good shot, Nev. Well, let's take a flight down to Exuma.
History is in the making. The Exuma Independence Committee, recognizing Local Government Month, recently held a time capsule concealment ceremony at the administrator's residence. Not too late for the 50th anniversary of the Bahamas, committees around the Bahamas organized time capsules filled with items reflecting pertinent aspects of Bahamian history. Exuma is now in the count. Marlena?
Thanks, LaDawn. Well, as promised, the Valley Boys join us tonight with some exciting news. Here with us are Michael Foster from the group's executive team, and we also have Davon Jones from the group's communications unit. Gentlemen, welcome to Access Now.
Thank you for having us.
Now, let's get straight to it. We tried to get you guys last night, but a little birdie told us that you were otherwise occupied with something spectacular that was happening. So, can you tell us what it was?
We've had a supporter, a sponsor for last year, who endeavored the journey with us, supported us throughout the year, despite all of the things you would have heard about the two valleys, right? And so he surprised us last night after having said to us, encouraged us to go on Bay Street and perform, despite the fact that we weren't allowed to participate, but he said we must go there and perform. And so I guess the reward, so to speak, may be that he showed up last night after the court case, and he granted us $50,000.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, speaking of that court case, the judge made a ruling yesterday that left your group feeling victorious. There is only one Valley Boys Junkanoo group. Now, can you tell us about that ruling and what it means for the Valley Boys?
I want to say to you that from the outset of our journey and the registration of the group, we always knew that there was one Valley Boys, and that was us. Despite all of the shenanigans and the back and forth between the press and the other side, we always knew we were. The challenge we had was to get the public and, to some degree, the JCMP authority to accept us legally as the Valley Boys. Statements were made sometime around the summer that from the JCMP chairman saying that when the court makes a final decision, that they will abide by the court's ruling. So we were satisfied in what he said, but we were dissatisfied with some of the things he did afterwards. He seemingly, in our opinion, created a greater obstacle by getting involved in our matter when JCMP or its people should not have got involved in our matter, should have let it play out. Meanwhile, our committee, The Way Forward, was never a Junkanoo group, but we were trying to encourage an opportunity for the two sides to get together and work this out. Unfortunately, some of the executives on that side didn't see it that way. And so they put themselves in I would say, an advantaged position, being within the JCMP and being able to tell their story and what they saw things happening. And it shed a negative light on what we were trying to accomplish. What we were trying to accomplish was an election, fairness, accountability. And they seem not, over the years, to have any interest in doing that.
Well, now that we've seen that ruling, we also saw a press statement come out today talking about that ruling and the name. So, Devon, can you tell us a little bit about that release?
Well, the biggest challenge of why that happened is just recently the JCNP had an election for their executive committee, and there would have been several members of that committee who was supposedly nominated as Valley Boys who aren't under our from our group. So we took a position with that. We felt that that was not the proper way to do that, and those members are not representative of the Valley Boys, which has clearly been designated yesterday. And that's kind of, for the most part, why we've made certain efforts and we'll make further communications in the coming days with the JCNP to make it clear that we're not going to go through the charade and the games again this year. The judge has already ruled, and we intend to just be guided by that.
And now, in the wake of your victory, the sponsorship with Bahamar, what can you tell us about that?
I can say that there were numerous opportunities last year, but I think Bahamar wanted to assure that the matter was settled. And so we were told that once this matter is settled legally and whatever the case may be, we can come back to the table and have a conversation. I think that the Sandy Sands is a sincere person, and it's only been 2 days since the court ruling, and so we intend to go back there to retain the sponsorship and the relationship that we've had for so many years. Additional to that, there are other numerous sponsors that said the same thing to us last year. You'll get your stuff sorted out,
so we'll have to
and then come back and talk to us.
Amazing.
The beauty of this already is that 2 of them have called us. We didn't call them. They said, when y'all coming in to talk.
Love it.
So our future looks good.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Foster, Devon Jones, Valley Boys to the world, congratulations to you for this week's achievements, and we hope to see you back in this place very soon. Well, for now, let's check in with Total Sports to see what's going on out there.
Hundreds of athletes from across the Bahamas hitting the track today for day 1 of the Mission Youth Sports and Culture's National High School Track and Field Championship. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. ATC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Here at Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. Every aisle is filled with all you need. A great value with variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products. Saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you.
For more than 30 years, thousands have attended the annual Bahamas Bridal Show to enjoy a spectacular fashion show, fun and games, food and champagne, and $30,000 in prizes, including honeymoons. On Sunday, March 23rd at Grand Hyatt Baha Mar, come see the reason the Bahamas Bridal Show is the ultimate experience for weddings and special events. Show tickets, $75. Call 421-9783 or visit bahamasevents.net.
Welcome to your Thursday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amadal Rhodes, Topping Sports, day one of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture National High School Track and Field Championships getting underway earlier today at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. And the action already heating up as we saw a new record fall. The girls under 17 high jump highlights from the early session. Action getting underway on the track as we would see several heats in the boys and girls 100 meters. Over in the pit, a member of the SAC Big Red Machine and recent University of Ole Miss commit Bailey Major soaring past the field in the girls under 20 triple jump, outclassing the competition with a best leap of 12.36 meters.
I just trusting my training and trying to have fun at the same time.
Talk about the jump because everyone look like a big one after one another.
Yes, I came out there kind of like with the attempt to break the national record. I didn't, but I'll get there. I also beat.
But the story of the day would be the intense battle in the girls under 17 high jump between two of Walker-Rift stalwarts and last year's reigning silver medalist and Queens College Comet, Alexandria Komalafe, and the versatile Kiesra Thomas out of Bishop Michael Eldon in Grand Bahama. Ladies would trade impressive jumps back and forth and would both clear a new meet record of 1.68 meters. But ultimately, Komalafe would be awarded the title, being the first of the pair to clear the record-setting height.
Well, starting off low at 145, I just wanted to keep my jump consistent. You know, keep the same run, keep the same drive up, and maintain the same form as I go move up to the higher heights. And then when I reach the 168, we're just keeping the same thing and trusting my coach.
Now, of course, all the action from all the 3 days will be seen here live on the ZNS television network. You definitely want to stay locked in. That's all the time we have for you for sports on this Thursday. We'll check on weather when we return.
Candid Security offer a varied range of security services, including guard service. We do armored service, we do pre-employment investigation, background checks, also vet people for employment. A live business hosted PBX is extremely important to our operation. I don't have to be in my office. I can easily get connected with our clients, my vendors, my NASA office, and with our employees in the field, anytime, anywhere.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast, and the dry conditions continue again tonight, but there's a cold front underway, and that will usher in some cooler temperatures. The front itself should pass through during the early morning hours, and LaDawn, I know you love those cold, wintry temperatures. Well, they will be with us for several more days. Now, your boating forecast tonight, all this brought to you by Live Business, where we bulk up your business. In the northwestern islands, the winds are going to be southwest to west, just ahead of that front. 10 to 15 knots will be the wave speeds, with the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Now, your high tide, that's going to take place at 1 or 2 in the morning, but as the front goes through, those winds will swing out of the northwest. Now, in the central and southeastern islands, northwesterly component, 10 to 15 knots, wave height also at 2 to 4 feet. And then on Friday, we're going to have that northwest winds, but those winds will be increasing significantly, 15 to 25 knots, very rough seas at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. So we will have an advisory in place for boaters in the northwest Bahamas on Friday morning, but that will be short-lived, because by afternoon, we expect those winds to start to decrease again. Low tide on Friday, 7:33 in the morning, with a high tide at 1:14 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands, southwest to west, 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And on Saturday, in the northwest and central islands, we're going to have light and variable winds, very flat sea conditions, so the weekend is looking great for boating. The low tide will take place at 8:32 in the morning, with a high tide at 2:13 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas on Saturday, those winds, they're going to be easterly at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. It's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. LaDawn and Melina.
Thanks a lot, Basil. We are young. Do you know what that is, Malena?
Not sure, but yes, we are young.
Yes, we are indeed. But Let's Talk Socials has the details on that. Let's turn things over to Matea Cunningham.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Socials. Now, tell me, why does Kyle Gordon have social media in a chokehold right now? If you've been scrolling, you've definitely heard his new song, We Will Never Die. And if you didn't know any better, you would think it's just another early 2000s pop rock anthem. But hold on, Kyle isn't just some regular artist. He's actually parodying every overly optimistic, feel-good song millennials grew up on. You know the big ones with big anthems, catchy hooks, and lyrics that basically scream, life is amazing and nothing can stop us. And somehow he nailed the sound so well that people are actually streaming it unironically. Check this out.
We are young. There's a fire in our soul. We go big or go home together. We are young. That's right. We're black and we're white, but we all will be tonight forever. 'Cause we will never die. No one I know will ever die. Your mom and dad will never die.
That was awesome. So, what do we think? Is this satire at its finest, or are we low-key adding it to our playlists? That's it for Let's Talk Socials. I'm Matea, and have a great evening.
Yes, Matea, we are definitely young.
Yes, we are. Well, that does it for Access Now for tonight.
Stay tuned, though, for the opening of the High School Track and Field Nationals.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Shalom, I'm Arthur Bailey, Apostle and Overseer of Arthur Bailey Ministries and House of Israel International, inviting you to join us for Searching the Scriptures on this station every Sunday at 9 a.m. I look forward to searching the Scriptures with you and your family. That's 9 a.m. on Sunday. Check it out, and your life will never be the same in Yeshua's name.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture presents the 2025 National High School Track and Field Championships.
Welcome back. I hope you had a great break, but it's time for entertainment. We turn it back over to the official opening ceremony of the National High School Track and Field Championships.